Angels and the Nephilim, explained in the book written by Noah's grandfather. Enoch was Noah's grandfather, and he was the seventh man from Adam. This places the book of Enoch as being around 5,500 years old. Enoch was born 622 years after the creation of Adam, and that makes the book of Enoch one of the oldest books on planet Earth. In this article, we will look at some of the texts provided in the book of Enoch, where we can find very interesting things that speak of the fallen angels and the Nephilim, the product of ancient myth or truth, written down thousands of years ago. The so-called Book of Enoch is described as an ancient Jewish religious work, ascribed by tradition to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Modern scholars estimate the older sections, mainly in the Book of the Watchers, to date from about 300 BC, and the latest part, Book of Parables, probably to the 1st century BC. The first part of the Book of Enoch describes the fall of the Watchers, the angels who fathered the Nephilim. The remainder of the book describes Enoch's visits to heaven in the form of travels, visions, and dreams, and his revelations. The book is made up of 5 major sections, which are the Book of the Watchers, 1 Enoch 1-36, the Book of Parables of Enoch, 1 Enoch 37-71, also called the Similitudes of Enoch, the Astronomical Book, 1 Enoch 72-82, also called the Book of the Heavenly Luminaries or Book of Luminaries, the Book of Dream Visions, 1 Enoch 83-90, also called the Book of Dreams, the Epistle of Enoch, 1 Enoch 91-108, but the contents of the book completely challenge modern religion and history, mainly because of its controversial content. Is it possible that we have overlooked ancient texts such as the Book of Enoch? Is it possible that these texts speak the truth about what happened to mankind in the distant past? If so, why have we chosen to ignore these ancient texts? Because they do not seem to fit in our mainstream chronology. Many authors agree that based on numerous ancient texts we can conclude that the ancient Nephilim could have been an ancient alien species that lived on Earth in the distant past, even though this is an extremely controversial notion for mainstream scholars who firmly oppose it. According to several ancient texts, it's possible to conclude that the Nephilim were, in fact, mysterious beings that dominated over the planet before the Great Flood. In many ancient texts, they are referred to as giants, and some ancient texts suggest these mystery beings are in fact the descendants of the fallen angels. However, despite many scholars trying to comprehend what the Nephilim were, there is considerable confusion surrounding these mysterious beings, which according to ancient texts, were real and inhabited Earth in the distant past. There isn't doubt whether or not these beings were real. The only question that surrounds them is their actual origin and legacy. Enoch 6. 1-3, and it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men and beget us children. Enoch 10. 3-8, And Enoch was blessing the Lord of Majesty, and the King of the ages. And lo, the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of righteousness, go, declare the watchers of the heaven who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of earth do, and have taken unto themselves wives. Ye have wrought great destruction on the earth, and ye shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. And inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children, Nephilim, the murder of their beloved ones shall they see, and over the destruction of their children shall they lament, and shall make supplication unto eternity. But mercy and peace shall ye not attain. Enoch 7:1-6. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one. And they began to go in unto them and to defile themselves with them. And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, 450 feet, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. Chapter 8:1. And Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the islands, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Threesome Jazatot enchantments, and
Do you want to make $1 in 5
Amaros
seconds?
the
All you need to do is
Resolving
fill in your
enchantment.
email and password in the form on this page.
Astrology.
Watch what happens when I do.
The constellation.
Click the sign up now button.
The knowledge of the clouds. Rachel the signs of the earth. Shamesil the signs of the sun. And Zeriel the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Chapter 19. And Gabriel said to me, Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits assuming many different forms are defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand, till the day of the great judgment, into which they shall be judged till they are made an end of. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. So, after reading these chapters, is it possible that there is some warranty truth in them? Is it possible that the so-called fallen angels did in fact exist in the distant past? Is it possible that the Nephilim lived among humans? If so, we ask again, why have we chosen to ignore what ancient man recorded so perfectly in the past?